You know, it's been a while since I've done a BlacKKKaren video on my channel. And I was wondering when the next one's going to come up because the bed buckings have been literally taking over like crazy. I feel like I'm going marathon style with these, especially in the last week or so, because they were coming back to back to back. And I said to myself, when is the next BlacKKKaren video going to come? And then who would have thought that the one that would come would be on someone I did a BlacKKKaren on last year, and that would be Amala Ekpunobi. So we all know that this individual ain't too bright, especially when it comes to the topic of foundational Black Americans, that is. And ironically, the BlacKKKaren video that I'm doing on her today is kind of on the same line and wavelength as why I did a BlacKKKaren video on her last year, and that's the topic of reparations. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play, the reason why I'm not playing her video in here is because she's reacting to a clip from the show, the new updated version of the Proud Family, in that episode where they're talking about slavery and reparations, the episode that has gotten PC all in a bunch and their co-colonizing cohorts such as her in that same bunch. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to play the clip, and so you'll be able to hear the clip from the cartoon, from the show, and then hear what she says after it. It's only about 55 seconds long.
Slaves built this country. Built this land from sea to sea to sea. First there was rice, tobacco, sugar cane. Then Whitney did his thing and cotton became king. And we were its soldiers, 4 million strong, fighting for America's freedoms, even though we remained America's slaves. Built this country. The descendants of slaves continue to build this. Slaves built this country. And we, the descendants of slaves in America, have earned reparations for their suffering.
Please tell me what you've earned. So you want reparations from people who were never slave owners given to people who were never slaves? I used to sit in front of the TV, I should say. Watch Proud Family, learn about bullying, friendship, navigating school life as a young child. Normal things that all young people go through the lens of this family. And now you get this? I don't identify with we.
Okay, so you just heard it right there. So you heard the clip from the show in the beginning, and then you heard what she had to say at the end. Notice that she literally sat through the part where they were talking about slaves and slavery and giving the history of slavery. But the second that one of the characters in the show said reparations, that's when she cut it off and then went into her little minstrel rant. I know I was not the only one to pick that up. The minute that reparations was mentioned, she cut the video short and then went into her rant. Now I'm going to go back a little bit and we're going to break down her little rant. And it's going to be so easy to do because it's pretty much almost the same kind of breakdown that I did when I went in on her last year for basically the same thing.
Please tell me what you've earned.
Did she not look at the whole clip? That she literally just looked at the clip and talking about asking what we have earned. And notice she said what you have earned. I'm glad that Amala has decided to not say we in this context, because last year she was talking a bunch of we. I was thinking maybe she was French. And I'm sitting here saying, no, this woman is half Nigerian, half PC. I'm not sure where on the PC spectrum she falls, but it's there. So she has now, we can see she has distance. She has separated herself, which is probably for the best. And then she says, what have we earned? You literally just looked at the clip. They just broke it down for you in the cartoon. If you did a little bit of history, research, I should say, then you would find out what they're referring to.
You want reparations from people who were never slave owners given to people who were never slaves?
Again, see, that talking point right there is the one that they love to use the most. Oh, so you want slavery reparations from people who weren't even slave owners to give to people that weren't even slaves? It's not coming from them. It's coming from the government. See, to those of y'all listening out here, subscribe to my channel. Even those who are new, this is exactly why y'all need to be locked in every Wednesday when I upload a new episode of my Black Massacre series. I keep telling people that's a part of history that they don't tell you about, and I know this because I have some people who watch those videos who are from those areas or drove through those areas and had no clue about what I was talking about until they actually watched it, because it's not taught in schools. And why would it be? That's another reparations claim right there, because a lot of that stuff happened before, during slavery, and most of it happened post-slavery. And when I say post, I'm talking about just a couple of years shy, not shy, but a couple of years after slavery was officially quote unquote abolished. We're not even talking 5 years for some, let alone 10. But we know she doesn't do research. But again, this is not her history. So we would not expect her to feel or align herself with why we feel the way that we feel. Granted, there are some who are non-FBA who want us to get our reparations. Shout out to Kid Gravity. This one, on the other hand, nah. And remember, she's a product of PragerU. It's right there. I keep telling y'all, any black person or black identified individual who is attached to PragerU are not to be trusted.
I used to sit in front of the TV, I should say. Watch Proud Family, learn about bullying, friendship, navigating school life as a young child. Normal things that all young people go through.
Again, she used that same talking point that they use. I watched this show and then when I was young, and they talked about this and we talked about that and they talked about this, about that. Well, you're not a child anymore. Although you still act like a child. Keep in mind, this woman is barely into her 20s. When the Proud Family came on, she was in diapers. She probably didn't even know what the hell she was watching. They probably just had the show on in front of her, and she just looked at it. Or was probably falling asleep. So how would she even know? She probably couldn't even remember when the episodes were new. She most likely watched them when they became reruns. Honestly, because I think Amala was born in 2001. Proud Family, I think, came out in 2001. So she would barely remember it as a new episodes. I, on the other hand, would remember it as a new show because in 2001, I was 11 going on 12. So I have a very vague memory of the original Proud Family.
Through the lens of this family, and now you get this. I don't identify with we.
That's the best thing that she said. Now, you can't see it in the video, but I'm going to scooch it up a little bit when she talks about we. I don't identify with we. Right here. She says, I don't identify with we. And when she did that, she threw up a weak Black Power fist. And she threw it up almost as it's in disgust for her to even do it. And we know where that comes from. We know where the Black Power fist comes from. And what it represents to the Black community, especially foundational Black Americans. Again, this is a woman who has no lineage ties to us on either side of her family. Not on her dad's side, not on her mother's side. So I would not expect her to be line in step with us. I wouldn't expect that. However, she is very disrespectful of our lineage every chance she gets. But it doesn't surprise me. If y'all remember the video I did about Dennis Prager, who is the founder and CEO of PragerU, and you listen to what he said when it pertains to slaves, and you listen to what she said in this video, it all makes sense.